Hey, this is Jonesy with another episode of Meet the Maker. It's a little something that we provide, little video interviews on Block News, and we're very lucky this morning to have Todd Rowan of Rewards Token, the CEO, and he's taking a moment out of his day to give us a little interview. Todd, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hey, Jonesy, thanks for having me. It's great to be on here.
I'm glad. I'm glad. I think our viewers are going to be very interested in what you have to say about the company. Could you just begin by saying, just a little bit of history? What does your company do, and what's kind of the vision behind it all?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're very excited to be bringing this project into the marketplace. I've been in the loyalty and rewards industry now for about 20 years. I have a company that I just exited last year that we built out the programs. I had it for 15 years. We built out the programs for American Airlines, Amex, Bank of America, etc. So got a lot of background and experience in that. We've taken all of that and the relationships and a lot of the infrastructure and moved that into a new company for rewards.com. And what we decided last year, and what kind of got us into this, is I've been in crypto mining since 2013. A good buddy of mine got me into it. He called me up over Christmas of 2012 and said, "Hey Todd, I just got this thing called an ant miner, and it's mining this stuff called Bitcoin, and it's this little digital currency. It's really cool, and you got to get into this. It's great."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, okay, Bobby, that's a little odd." And he kept after me for a few months, and about mid-13, I have data centers with fixed power. He finally talked me into buying some miners, so I put $20,000 of miners in my data center and started mining Bitcoin. And it was great. I was mining it, turning it up to fiat, and it's paying for part of the data center, and I thought it was a great thing. And every once in a while, I go by my IT department and says, "Hey, is there anything we can do with this crypto and our reward programs that we're running?" They go, "Yeah, we'll look into it." And it wasn't until last year that I went to a meetup group. It was a crypto meetup group, and I'm sitting at the table and talking to the group, talking about what we're doing with rewards. We were just getting ready to relaunch rewards as a points program. We just bought it and just getting ready to launch a points program on it. And some guy at the end of the table said, "Hey, that's a really good idea for blockchain and a cryptocurrency." I'm like, okay. So I went back and I took the deep dive. I knew about all the altcoins, started really going into, okay, where's the technology going? What are we doing in the marketplace? And what I realized is that the currency itself fits extremely well with the loyalty and rewards program. So we're putting value into the actual currency. And we already created digital currency in a lot of the programs all the programs that we run for the banks and the airlines. But we're not putting value into the currency. The currency itself doesn't have value. We're just either giving the person cash back or giving the corporation funds. And the American Airlines actually survived the first round of bankruptcy because of their rewards program, supported them. And they sell over $2 billion a year just in their currency. So we looked at that and says, instead of doing cash back or just these points that don't have any value, wouldn't it be great to actually instill value in it that is market driven by the consumers and the consumer engagement and the interest in the currency and the program? So we said, okay, that's a great fit. And then we started looking really, what can we do with the blockchain technology, and can we move part of the infrastructure that we typically manage into the blockchain? And obviously we can do all the account management, but then we can also help with consumer privacy and consumer data. So as we move into our second phase of our project, which is our own blockchain, it is about moving all that data and the information that we would typically manage internally onto the blockchain, so the consumers actually have custody of all their demographic data. They have control of their communications, and it kind of flips the marketing upside down a little bit. So it's good for the marketers in the sense they have access to a much broader market and can target and communicate consumers, but then the consumers actually have control of the data, so they can kind of redirect and get more customized marketing that fits their needs.
That's amazing. Very detailed
that's
too.
A lot in a
I
short
love it.
time.
I love it. I get some guests. I got to kind of push it out of them, but you're just giving it all to me, Todd. I love it. Let's geek out for a little bit and tell the audience exactly how it works.
Exactly how it works. Okay, the project's broken up into two phases. The first phase we're getting ready to launch here, probably the first part of November, which is a rebranding of rewards.com. So rewards.com will get a whole new look and feel, a rebrand. It'll get tokenized essentially at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And there's our merchant partners in that already fund all the traffic and everything that we drive through the site. So we're just taking that same funding, and as a consumer goes in and shops at Home Depot or Macy's, they spend $100, they're going to get maybe about $5 in crypto back. So they'll get that in the form of reward tokens. So what happens with us is our merchants pay us in fiat. We take that fiat and we go to our exchange partner, buy our currency back, give it to the consumer, and then the consumer can keep it in our ecosystem and within the rewards wallet and go around and redeem it. So they can take it out for lunch. There'll be a mobile app that, if they go out to Chili's, getting ready to pay $12.50 on Chili's, pay with my rewards currency, it's going to pop a barcode up. That's going to scan through the register, no friction on the merchants. We're already tied into their rails, their payment rails, so they can scan that barcode, and it's just going to go through just as we were executing the normal rewards programs that we did for the banks and the airlines and etc. So using all those same mechanisms. And so the first phase of this is about tokenizing that currency and bringing that in. It's an ERC20 token on the Ethereum network. And then as we get that launched, we'll launch the US first, and then follow very quickly by the UK. Then South Korea will be next, and then we've got 9 or 10 more countries on our radar over a period of time. So we'll be launching a new country about every 2 to 3 months as we go along here. For us, what our goal in this is ultimately really to help bring cryptocurrency into the mainstream. And rewards is a very easy way to do it, where you can have grandma go out to Macy's and buy a pair of shoes, and she earns this rewards cash or rewards currency. She can go redeem it for a gift card for a Christmas present, or do whatever she wants with it, and never think about it being crypto. But then she can come along, and her grandson can say, "Hey, Grandma, did you know you can take this out and trade it for Bitcoin?" And
and then of course, she says, "What is Bitcoin? I've never heard of it." That's how it usually goes. And then, but what an opportunity to teach Grandma all about this new currency.
Absolutely. And what's unique about it is it does have a varying value. So we're not going to eliminate the varying value of the currency with rewards.com because, face it, loyalty and rewards programs is all about gamification. And the varying value adds another dynamic of that gamification element. Now, we will provide the consumer some abilities to, like if they're planning a Christmas vacation or they want that flat screen TV, they can pre-commit to it, and we'll trade their currency out and put it to that product immediately, and then they build up until they can buy the product. But we'll for the most part, you'll have that varying value, so you have different incentive levels. If the price is down, well, when you go shop at Macy's, you're getting more currency. When the price is up, it's a much better time to redeem.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Whatever you call that, gamification.
Among the other tokenized rewards program that we're seeing kind of crop up, how does yours separate itself from the others, from the competitors?
Well, so I think let's start with the fact that we've been in the industry now for 20 years. We have over 7,000 merchant relationships worldwide currently.
Huge. That's huge.
They're the relationships that we've had for the last 15, 20 years that we've built, and we continue to build new relationships and new networks into merchant communities. And it's really beyond those relationships. We have relationships into the credit providers, the gift card providers, on down the line. So it's a lot of industry relationships for one. And then secondly is we're not after just creating a program that, hey, we're going to create an ERC20 token, and hey, you come and buy this and use it for your rewards program. It's great. Rewards.com is our program, and we are launching it to be its marketplace and the rewards marketplace with our merchant partners in it. And when we get into the second phase of this is about getting off of the Ethereum network into our own blockchain network, which is specifically designed to support rewards and loyalty programs. Rewards.com is one of the first Genesis programs of that network that will be utilizing the network to support its program. And that network will be able, program can come in and white label their own currency. So you have a hotel can come in and white label their hotel point, utilize the network, and basically they can lift a lot of the management that they typically have to do internally. They can lift a lot of the liability elements that typically come along with reward programs, and it changes the whole incentive in marketing. Because now, as I'm kind of recognizing my expenses up front, I can lower my overall cost basis, eliminate a lot of my management fees, and now I have a currency that's floating in the market that has a real value to it. So my incentive is not to try to keep it out and create breakage, it's to bring it back in for redemption because it has asset value for me. I can turn it back around and give it to the next consumer to earn and go out, which helps me lower my cost basis. I don't have to acquire new currency, and so on. So there's a lot of benefits from the program perspective. And when we do the second phase, we'll also provide, we can provide a stabilized coin to the program where, they maybe they want to stabilize their currency, like hotels will typically do a penny a point is kind of where they try to stabilize at. And so they can have, their stable penny a point currency, and they're backing it with the reward, currency. So if a reward currency is $1, they need one reward token to generate 100 of, their currency. And it's white labeled in their system, it can stay in their ecosystem, but then it becomes fungible across the entire network. So all the programs that participate in the network, that currency becomes fungible. And one of the things that's unique about it as well is it's also fungible globally. So I could earn the currency in the US, go spend it in the UK, and that we don't see today in current reward programs.
Right.
So there's a lot of exciting things that we can do from the program perspective, but then we flip back over on the consumer side, what's their impact? And it's really about that digital identity, that digital wallet, and having control of their information that these marketers are all after, and won't try to reach them. So we still need to allow the marketers to reach consumers, but we'll allow them to reach the consumers through their digital identity. So if the consumer doesn't want to give out their email, their phone number, all that, they don't have to give it out. It's just, here's my digital identity, and oh, by the way, if you abuse it, I'm going to shut you off.
Yeah, right. And I got to tell you, as a consumer, I don't like to give up my phone number. I stand in line, I buy something, and then at the register, can I have your phone number? No, you can't have my phone. What?
Right. Well, that actually creates, being a program runner and in these programs for so many years, it actually creates a lot of work on us because we have, a large percentage of consumers that put in fake email addresses, fake phone numbers.
Oh, that's me. I do it.
Then we're trying to market to it. Now we have to spend all the data processing time trying to weed that information out. We're trying to, scrub our lists, spend a lot of time list scrubbing and trying to clean them. Then we send out a marketing campaign, a bunch of rejections. We got to scrub again.
Yeah.
And so it creates a lot of work, on the program side. So if we remove that to where the consumer has custody of their information, then the consumer is, they're the ones responsible for making sure it's accurate and it's right, and they have custody of it. The marketers can see the demographics. They can say, okay, well, I want to send 100,000 communications out to this 100,000 IDs, and then the consumers can decide, do they like that information, or potentially give redirection to the marketers. So think about it like this: if I'm getting marketed from REI and they're marketing snow skis to me, well, I'm a snowboarder. Well, I don't want snow skis.
Right.
Give me snowboards, and we could send up. They can redirect that information. It says, this is what I really want. Talk to me about this.
Yeah, helpful for consumers on that end too. For you, Todd, what would you say is a personal value that for this whole project for you? Like what personal motivation do you have to kind of provide this service and to get into this?
Well, I think for me, so let's start with the fact that this is loyalty and rewards is all I've done my entire career.
Right. Sure.
I started out as a young man in the gaming industry in California. I worked for a marketing company that handled all the racetracks and casinos and did all the marketing. And I built data systems to track the patrons and figure out how to get them to, come to the track when they normally wouldn't be there, and how to target them and get them, motivated on things. So I enjoy that. And I get passionate about seeing a program and seeing it, become public and grow, and consumers engage it, and consumers get out of it, get value out of it. And I think that's really the key. Is today I am overwhelmed with loyalty and reward programs. I mean, they're, everywhere I turn, somebody's trying to sign me up for a new program.
Yep.
And what's funny is, being into the industry, my standard answer is no. I don't want that.
Right.
I don't care. I don't care if I save 10% today on this. I don't want it. Because
yep.
I don't want to deal with all the stuff that goes along with it.
Sure.
If I can turn that around and say, well, I'll give you my digital identity, and I'll take the percentage, and I know that I have control of that information. They're not going to go resell it, or trade it to somebody, or send me 10 emails a day. I'm probably more likely to do that. So I think the key is I really want consumers to get value out of this whole thing. And I think by putting a value in the point, there's trillions of points in the market, and that consumers hold. Imagine if we turn that into something that actually has a tangible value, as a currency, is tradable, is fungible, worldwide, trade out for Bitcoin or whatever you want to trade it for.
I love that. To me, as a consumer, that would be something I'd much more be inclined to participate in. Rather than I was at Office Depot and the other day and printing something, and they say, hey, just join our rewards program. And like, nah, it's just another one I'm going to have, and I'm going to throw it in the corner. I'm hardly ever going to use it. What you guys are offering me here, I just don't always come here for that. But, if it was a program that was just had way more options for me, I would be so on board.
Yeah, if you go into if you go in Home Depot, here one day in the future, and they says, well, hey, you want to join our rewards program? It says, well, I'll give you my digital identity, and I'll take, if you're doing currency or what your points and stuff, I'll take those, because now they're fungible, because I may not want to come back and redeem them at you. I may take them and go buy an airline ticket, with them, because they're fully fungible across the program. But what the marketer has to understand is that that's actually not a bad thing for them, because now I'm actually more inclined to come back in to Home Depot or Office Depot or whatever it is, and earn more currency, because I can do more with it. I can't tell you how many programs that I see consumers signed up with it, or that I've signed up with, that okay, I've earned 5,000 Bob points. Okay, what am I going to do with that?
Yeah.
I don't even think about it as a currency that, okay, well, I can go redeem it for something.
Yeah.
So I'd much rather have value in my currency, and I think that's really what it's about.
I think it's great. Yeah, it's fantastic. And you already have built-in relationships, being that it's coming from rewards.com, which has been around for a long time. So I think you're ahead of the game with this.
Well, rewards.com actually hasn't been around a long time.
Really?
We've been in the industry a long time. A previous business here that I just exited has
Uh-huh.
been in the industry for a long time. Rewards.com I just bought a few years ago, and like I said, we parked it for a while, and then we started to stand up a points program on it, and then we had our pivot into crypto. So what we're doing right now is going to be the first very significant and substantial monetization of that domain, which is a great domain because it drives a lot of traffic. I mean, just the short time that we've stood it up here, we've registered 250,000 people. We got about 30,000 of them active in the program, and we haven't even started any marketing yet.
That's amazing. I mean, it's just got a built-in audience there already. Rewards.com. I mean, that domain, that's such a valuable domain. I'm going to ask you one more question. It's going to be a fun one.
Okay.
So if Rewards Token was a superhero, Todd, who would it be? What powers would this superhero have?
Oh, let's see. It'd have the power to spread crypto around the world.
Yes. I knew it. And save us money, in the end too.
Right.
I think that's fantastic.
Stack up those rewards, save money, and more people that get involved, the more money it's going to generate.
Well, I love what you're doing, Todd, and I think our audience is really going to appreciate this clip here. We've learned a lot, and I appreciate you taking the time to come on today. And for those of you who are watching and you enjoyed this interview with Todd, please check out Rewards Token, soon to be, so rewardstoken.io or rewards.com, soon to be, and watch some of the other videos that we have. We're interviewing some of the most dynamic people in this space, people like Todd, who are the future of this business. And so thank you, Todd, for coming on. I really appreciate that.
Hey, thanks, guys. We'll see you later.
Take care.